Going everybody, it's me Shane. I'm here to give you another Rurouni Kenshin 2023 episode review. Today's episode is episode 9, the Oniwabanshu strike. Before I go any further, please hit that like button, please subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of more videos like this one. So, last week we had what was it? We saved Megumi. We found out about the Oniwaban. We found out about Conryu's goofy butt, and we found out about the beginning attack. And there was quite some differences between, you know, the original, this leading into the manga, and I kind of like those things, right? I like when I don't call them adaptations, but going from page to screen, there are some differences. Even in Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, Kubo even said there's some differences there. There's some more fleshing out. There's some things that are done differently. Some things that are noticeable by people who pay way more closer attention. Well, I pay close attention, but there are people who play super close attention. I'm kind of one of those people. It's weird. All right, there are some things that slip through the cracks with me, but man, I wish I could catch all those things that those other folks did. They're the super fans, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about this episode here, which is dedicated to learning Megumi Tanaki's backstory. So, unlike this RX-78 that I found at the dollar store, which I got to get this thing put together because it glows up, I'm going to complete these thoughts and complete what happened here. So, let's talk about the fight with Hyottoko versus Sano versus Kenshin, which is funny because when Sano first attacked him, he's trying to punch the guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, oil breath, fire." Turns out this big boy here, right, all red. His teeth are flint, and he has an oil sack with 9 liters of oil in his stomach. Dude's massive guy, so it's like chi and flame. Kenshin steps up and like, "You're not gonna be able to burn a hair on me." And literally, we get the cool moments where Kenshin is just like moving. He's cutting fire and moving the fire out of the way. Excuse me. Which Sano then wants to, finish the fight. The guy refuels. Sano rips the sack out of him and punches him. Knockout. We got Benshimi, the guy with the Rasenbio. He does Dokutsu Rasenbio, trying to poison Megumi because he's pissed off, right? Yahiko takes the hit right on the edge of his wrist here, which is interesting because I thought Kenshin sensed him before, because Kenshin looked in his direction, was like, "Oh, bloodlust." No, I figured he would have thrown his blade or something, but okay. But Yahiko's poisoned. He's probably going to die in an hour. Kenshin gets to dude, knocks him out. And then he's met with, I believe this guy's name's called Hanaya or Hanaoi. Oni mask, striped arms. Obviously a Kempo user based on what Sano told us, because he goes in for a punch, makes Kenshin spin. But apparently, when Kenshin apparently deliberately took the hit so he can use his blade to hit dude in the vital organs, mostly the liver, which does put him out for 3 days and puts out the other 2 guys in 3 days. Very interesting, because guy wanted to take his people and leave. Kenshin's like, "You're gonna leave the little one there because I want my little dude detoxified." We find out that Megumi knows all there is to detoxify. It tells him to go get a doctor, get all these things, and the doctor is Dr. Oguni Gensai. I remember Dr. Gensai. He probably has a little granddaughter as well as going to start showing up. When Sano, and it's so funny because they don't trust her. They don't like Megumi, right? All this trouble coming to the doorstep, especially about this opium and the Oniwabanshu, because Kaoru had to convince her not to run away, saying, "Hey, those two are not ordinary. Kenshin's not an ordinary swordsman." She saw for her own eyes. She was convinced, but they don't trust her. And when Dr. Oguni is saying, "Man, the person who wrote this good instructions. They understand Dutch Western medicine so well. Man, kind of reminds me of a person named Tanaki Megumi. So I say Megumi. They're like, hey, you know her? Then we get her backstory. Before she tries to leave, Kenshin cuts her off. I love how he doesn't let her change the subject and says, hopefully one day you will share, the truth with us that you should. And while he's doing her backstory, she's doing the backstory to Kenshin, which I like that when the crew, by crew I mean Sano and Kaoru, realize that she's not there, they kind of sneak behind because the doctor wanted to see her too, and they listen to the rest of the tale that they don't get. So, what is the tale of Megumi Tanakai? Her family's from the region of Aisu, Aisu. Aisu, the people there, heavy into medicine. The men, the women, and the children all learn about medicine. There was the greatest doctor there, Ryusei Tanaki. He wanted to learn about the Dutch Western medicine. So while all of them actually served the shogunate, he became lordless, took his entire family, and went and learned. Because they fully believed that medicine and treatment and detoxification and all that good stuff should be done for all people, not just for the wealthy, which the samurai class don't like that because apparently samurai class are very much, you know, they benefit much from being in high standing, so they want other people to stay lower, right? But Megumi apparently, I got some timelines for y'all. Only moved to Tokyo 5 years ago. That's important. But let's find out about what happened when she was a kid. Her father was killed. Her mother and brothers went missing, which the doctor said they probably were killed too because there was the Battle of Aisu. Now, the Aisu people, their clan fought against I want to say the Revolutionary Army, Imperialist Government Army. And everyone, including the women and children, also besieged the castle. So on September 22nd, 1867, they all surrendered. The Aizu people protected Kyoto Castle and apprehended any imperialists they could. But unfortunately, members of the family have been oppressed by the government ever since that point, period. I do enjoy how Kenshin subtly says how old he is by saying Megumi's speech, calling herself a nuisance. The speech is that of people from Aisu, and Kenshin fought some samurai from Aisu. Good job with your history coming back into play. I greatly enjoy that, right? So while she has tears, because we already got the history in from the doctor, she explains what happens with her. She's all alone. 5 years ago, comes to Tokyo, works for a doctor. But she said, I'm a bad judge of character because this dude worked with Conryu. Conryu had this dude refining opium to, well, the end product is opium, but he has them refining it, making it so they can get high, get people addicted, blah, 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 blah. Well, 3 years ago, the doctor was murdered and she went missing. She went into hiding because the doctor had found a way of making the drug more potent and more addicting with only using half of the ingredients, but he tripled it. Obviously, Conryu wanted to put it into distribution. He wants to make money from it, but the doctor wanted a monopoly on it. During a scuffle, Conryu's guys killed the doctor and Megumi. I love that this scene, by the way, is also in the original from 96, same in episode 9. So they redrew it, recreated. She's the only one that knows that process. So she ran. And she feels guilt and shame. And all she wants to do is see her brother and her brothers and her mother. But she feels so much shame because she practiced to save lives. And it took her a while to realize what the other doctor was doing. And now they're doing something that takes away lives. And I like how Kenshin kind of pulls around and says, you've been alone all this time in agony with this guilt, shouldering it, carrying it. I think it's time you should free yourself of that. And he says, don't you agree, Miss Kaoru? Because she wants to run away. She's saying that the Oniwaban is going to keep coming after her. And Kenshin's like, yeah, they will. So you stay here. Kaoru agrees. But if it wasn't for Kenshin, she would be just like her, alone and still wallowing in that loneliness. But she does run up and whisper, "Hey, you stay away from Kenshin though. You don't try to get me." Basically says, "Don't touch my man. That's my man." Which the episode ends there ish, but I'll get to that in a moment. Um, Very cool. We do get two. I'm gonna mention these two funny moments before I get to anything else. Funny moments, Kenshin and Sanosuke, because Sanosuke's hurt, and Kenshin and him are kind of bickering as Kaoru is explaining things to Megumi, how the two of them are, how they're extraordinary. And we get, Sano put him in a headlock. It's so funny that this dude is the most deadly swordsman in all of Japan, and has just got this 19-year-old shit just noogieing him. And then the second funny moment was after Yahiko was treated, and I love how Megumi analyzed his symptoms and just knew what the leaf was, because apparently this strontium leaf, can be used for medicinal purposes. So, pardon me. So when Yahiko is like still unconscious, and the doctor's like, he'll be good and ready to go 2 to 3 days, and Kaoru's shaking him like, thank goodness. That was funny. This Dr. Aguni has ties with the doctor that was killed, and he knew her. So that's why he wanted to see her again. I like how it's all coming full circle. It makes more sense to have, like, he's an old acquaintance, so of course he's going to want to see her. Very much close to the manga. There is a difference here because in the original anime, they were getting ready to go storm the castle, to storm the castle. I won't say why. You probably guess why, but storm the castle. We get another fight after the last fight. So this one here is taking its time. It's properly laying down stories, plot, motivations. As a matter of fact, the next episode is called "A Reason to Act." So I like that the Oniwaban arc is being treated very, very well, and I deeply appreciate it because I love me some Oniwabanshu. I covered all this here. So the guy that goes back, Hanai, when I told you Kenshin already hit his liver, he can't fight for a while, but Aoshi wants him to go find out everything he can, because he can still do spy stuff, right? Find out everything he can about who the swordsman is. Aoshi pretty much knows who he is. He like red hair, cross shaped scar. He knows it's Himura Batosai. I mean, but you gotta always get your facts straight. That's what I like about the Oniwabanshu. Our episode fully ends where you have Conryu going on a ship with Englishmen and everything else. I guess he knows the English captain. As obviously it's Japanese voice actors doing, these English words. But the English is so bad. It's so bad that it's kind of laughable. Especially when Conryu goes ape shit over whatever's in this box. I know what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? I know what's in the box. I'm not going to tell you until next week. But he goes ape shit over what's in this box. And you have the captain going, "Oh, Conryu, you're so fantastic." No. Probably would have been a better sentence if you're trying to convey amazement over his actions. Probably would have been, Conryu never ceases to amaze me, right? Because apparently they're good friends. Conryu knows enough English to greet his buddy, but they have a translator there, which I like. But some of the English was just so bad. Conryu speaks a little bit of English. I couldn't even understand one of his lines, and I didn't want to go back because instead of subbing it, they're like, "It's English, you know it," and I'm like, "Oh, it's pretty bad English. This ain't even Spanglish. This ain't even Nihonglish, right? This is not. This ain't katakana. This ain't Romaji. This is something else." But it does a good job of conveying the chaos and the weirdness. You notice that everyone who's a bad guy and like not even cool, they got these. You can see the individual teeth, and they just have this look like hi. It's kind of comical when you think about it. I'm just saying. I'm gonna say what we all thinking. Can't wait for Aoshi to fight Kenshin. That's it. Can't wait for it. Cannot wait. When I tell you it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be amazing. Also, Kenshin versus Hanoi. Hanai. part two. That's gonna be a good fight too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's minor spoilers. This thing is old. Didn't tell you what was in the box though. What's in the box? Didn't tell you what's in the box though. So this episode, I got over the bad English. It's a four. It's a four. The lowest you could give it is actually just a four because it's not bad. Great job of like, I don't want to say drawn out, but it feels like an arc, right? It doesn't feel like episode. It's like, hey, last week we were introduced. We got a little bit of a tussle going on. We introduced Big Bad Red Man. We beat Big Bad Red Man. We develop another issue where the person we're protecting saves one of our own, and now we're gonna find a way to give them camaraderie. It's good writing. It's good writing. I hate to call it basic writing because everyone should do that. Make motivations for your characters, and the fact that the next episode is called "A Reason to Act." That's you're gonna give them a reason to move forward and fight the Oniwabanshu. Let me just double check here. I don't think I've missed anything. All of this was quite well. 4 out of 5. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Did I forget anything? Did I miss anything? I mean, I pretty sure I covered everything. I even told you the name of their techniques. I mean, Hyottoko, his attack is called flame, special flame technique, or maximum flame, which is interesting because he has his belly, but when he inhales, he's all rippled with muscles to go with the flames. So obviously, he has some type of elasticity to his form. But yeah, I got everything, guys. I got it all. Yep, I got it all. So please leave a comment down below. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. I appreciate every last one of you. I surely do. So please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands, drink your water. All right. Stay safe out there. Be good to others. Make sure you be good to yourself. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right. And if you think you're a jerk, you might be going too hard on yourself. If you're feeling down, and you may be feeling down, I promise you're not out. Reach out to someone because there's someone out there that cares about you and rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. All right. Live your life to the fullest. I promise you won't regret it. So with that being said, I'm Shane. Can't wait for next week. Although I know I'm not going to get the Oniwaban battle that I want for like another 2 weeks. It's with how the pacing goes, which is done very well. I got a feeling about that. And if I'm wrong, it's going to be the best reason to be wrong. I'll catch you next time, guys. Oro.